Yo guys, welcome back to another video. This video I'm going to be covering kickoffs in 1s, 2s and 3s and showing you how to do them properly in all three game modes. Okay, so we're going to go over 1v1 kickoffs first. With this kickoff, when you're on the right side, when it's a straight kickoff, you want to be not moving left or right from the start. A lot of people off of the start of the kickoff will either like move their car right and flip through these pads, or something that most people do is they'll drive through these pads and then try and do a speed flip. What you want to do is you want to just drive forwards and then speed flip to the left side, so that it should look like this. Drive forwards and then speed flip through the left side, and you'll end up getting both pads and landing at the front of the ball. Like that, and this will guarantee you a solid kickoff and one that you can definitely score from. It's the exact same on the left diagonal. You want to drive forwards but then speed flip through the right side and you'll always get a solid kickoff. Now with the diagonals, you actually want to be doing the exact same thing, where you don't move too hard left or right. You just hit a perfect speed flip, actually going through the front boost like this. So I speed flip to the left here, so I can get this sort of landing. The reason why I'm a little bit further left on the ball is because I actually want to take control of the ball. Whereas if I wanted to try and win the 50, I would have made sure that I drove a tiny bit to the right here and went to the 50 in the middle of the ball. But as I said, I do it a little bit to the left so I can take control of the ball. And this control that this kickoff ends up giving me a really good chance at a dribble, which was a good save from him, but I do end up scoring this. So a lot of the guides in the past that I've seen to get a solid kickoff just say like, just make sure you go through the middle of the ball, but a lot of them don't actually say like what you need to do to go through the middle of the ball. As I've said before, I like to make a slight adjustment on my kickoff just before I go, meaning I can actually speed flip through whatever side I need to speed flip, meaning that I land perfectly in the middle of the ball, and then I flip to the right side, which means I get the boost and possession here, and then it usually leaves you going onto a plate. So I want you thinking, when you have the ball, when you actually go for the kickoff, where you actually want the ball to go. So a lot of the time you do want to hit the ball through the middle, but you actually want to be flipping it wherever you want it to go. So as you can see here, I'm directly in the middle of the ball, but I've flipped to the right side because I want the ball to the right side so I can take the boost and take control. It's pretty much the same thing on this kickoff. I take quite a hard movement to the right just at the start because I'm speed flipping left, and when I do my speed flip, I land in the middle of the ball and I've flipped into it on the right side, so again I can take full possession and the ball. Which ends up leading to a goal as well. So on this diagonal left kickoff here, I actually want to take control on the right side. So I've moved my car slightly to the left off kickoff, just as you've seen there, and I've done a speed flip through the right side. So that means I have all my momentum going right, and then I can flip it to the right side. So I can usually take boost and full control on the right side. These are really some micro adjustments that you want to add to your game, but once you get these down, this will honestly be game changing, especially for your kickoffs and especially for 1s. You want to be able to adapt these little movements into your game that really push you to the next level and makes kickoffs and especially 1s a whole lot easier. As you can see here, it's a diagonal right, but I actually make a really slight adjustment to the right. As you can see here, slight adjustment to the right. So even though I'm going straight towards the ball, I am carrying momentum to the left, which means my kickoff goes really strong to the left. This kickoff, I do the exact same thing. I want to take control into the corner, get the 50 a tiny bit to the left, and I have control. With this diagonal right here, I'm actually trying to wrap around the ball on the left side of it, just like here, to try and get control on the right side. You can also kill a lot of your opponent's momentum with doing this. He ends up getting the boost, but I do pressure his corner. I take the boost and I make him panic, and that's a goal. See where this diagonal right is a little bit different. I'm actually trying to hard win. So I do move to the right slightly just as I'm about to take this kickoff, as you can see here. Make a slight right movement here, right there. Then I flip through on the left side, and then I get all the way wrapped around the left of the ball, and I'm first to it. And then I get a hard win to the corner, and this will usually create a really good attack. As I said in my speed flip video, I'm a lot more comfortable getting speed flips in the Fennec than the Octane. So in the Fennec, I take a really slight right movement, and then I speed flip through the left side, and I wrap around the ball a little bit, which means I get a good win to the left side, and this can create a really good attack as well. It's similar again with this straight right kickoff. I don't make an actual movement. I just stay straight, but then I diagonally speed flip through the left side, picking up both pads, and I get a really good win on the kickoff, and then I'll eventually get an open net here. You also can adapt mid kickoff. With this kickoff, I move slightly to the right. I realize mid flip that I'm a lot faster than him to the ball, so I actually flip upwards into it. I wait to get closer to the ball and I flip upwards. This means that the ball will always go in my direction, and that means I get the boost and I have a free play on him. And like this diagonal right again, I take a really slight movement to the right. I flip through, speed flip through on the left side, and then I wrap around the ball a little bit, letting the ball go this side so I get full control. I think I miss that shot, but I eventually can score from it. Now it's the same here. I've actually realized that I'm faster than him to kick off, so I go under the ball and flip really late. And the reason I flip late is because I'm faster than him, so the ball should go wherever my flip goes. This is a straight kickoff. This is a kickoff that I actually move the most on, a certain way, whatever way I want to speed flip. So on this kickoff, as you can see, I actually move a lot to the right. So the kickoff starts, I move a lot to the right, and then I flip through on the left side, so I get a perfect landing with my speed flip. And then I flip into the ball on a certain side and diagonally flip the other way. So I go into the ball on the left side and I diagonally flip the other way. This usually causes the ball to freeze, which sometimes leaves an open net, but sometimes it just gives you a good attack. I think I did end up scoring from this kickoff as well, which was nice. Now we're going to move on to the 2v2 kickoffs. So for this kickoff here on the diagonal right, I actually go to it very fast. I wrap around left a tiny bit, but I flip through the middle and I actually flip away from the ball like this. I flip away from the ball. This usually brings the ball to come back a little bit. So usually if the follower follows up close, this can go over his head, but if the follower follows up like medium or quite slow, this usually is perfect for him, flipping away from the ball, getting perfect contact, because it should make the ball just come back and pop up a little bit. Sometimes this kind of kickoff can cause a lot of kickoff goals for you and your team, which can be really overpowered. My teammate actually does a similar sort of thing here, but he actually backflips with the kickoff, which makes it come back a little bit towards me, which can also be really good for just shooting straight away off the kickoff, or just sometimes having a free dribble on the opponent's net. I actually do the exact same kickoff here, where I go flip around the ball and then I flip away from it, again leaving it to come back to my teammate perfectly. And this sort of kickoff can honestly generate you so many goals once done right, and especially if you queue with a teammate and you communicate this can be really overpowered. Whereas this ball here, I've actually gone to it with a much faster speed flip, and I've gone towards the ball. I've flipped through it instead of flipping like away from it, and then I've got a really good kickoff straight to the right side, which has given me a play. So as you can see here, instead of flipping away from the ball, I've actually flipped through the ball, which has given me a really nice roll up the wall and makes it easy to get the boost. And then there's another variation with the diagonal kickoff where you just flip straight into the ball. You give all your power into the ball, not away from the ball, not through the ball, just into the ball, which usually causes the ball to freeze or just goes a tiny bit to a direction, and this can get you a lot of kickoff goals as well. This one does lead to us getting a kickoff goal. And then this was one, like I showed you before, I've called a back left from my teammate and it's gone straight towards me. This can be a really overpowered kickoff to use. You just call need boost, and if your teammate's at a diagonal kickoff, they'll do a back pass towards the boost. And if you don't go for the boost, you just grab that one pad, which is just on your right or left, whatever way you're going, like this. This would always leave an open net because this defender can't actually reach it in time. I will add though, I did completely miss that shot, but my teammate was there to save me, so it was fine. This is another kickoff where I've flipped away from the ball, but the fact that the opponents are really late to the kickoff actually means that it goes over their guy instead of my guy, which also leaves another open net. So with 3v3 kickoff, the most popular kickoff is the back pass kickoff. On the left side here, you want to be wrapping yourself around the ball, so you're on the right of the ball, so you're not actually driving into the ball, you're on the right of it, and then flipping with your side into the ball like that. That will always lead to a back pass to one of your teammates, and because everyone does the exact same kickoff, it's usually blocked. But especially at low ranks, if you start implementing this early, it shouldn't be blocked as much. And you should be able to use the diagonal back left kickoff always. So the reason why you do it is because it ends up being a perfect pass to either this teammate here or the teammate following. Try and make sure, if you are the person following and the diagonal guy is going for the back pass, try and follow a little bit to the side of the back pass so it makes it easier if the ball is weaker. And a lot of the time this will end up being a free goal for your team or just a really good attack. Now if you're a team and you can't communicate that you can do this kickoff, my team and I actually have this kickoff where the left diagonal goes for the kickoff, the right diagonal follows, and the guy who's back goes for the back boost. The kickoff guy will always go for a back pass here, but the reason why this is so overpowered is because after the kickoff it actually puts you in the perfect 3v3 rotation. I don't know if you've watched my 3v3 rotation video, but this is what I say is the perfect rotation. You have first man on the ball, you have second man behind him, and you have third man in a position where you can either go back or forwards. So if first man needs an instant pass, this pass is usually really free. And if first man needs to go for a 50, or maybe like he loses a 50 to second man is usually behind straight away. So the reason why you go for this kickoff is because it gives you a good chance at taking the mid boost before the follower, and also it puts you in a perfect rotation afterwards. We used this kickoff for over like 3 years and it was really solid for us. So again, left goes, you do a back pass, and then again it puts you straight into the perfect rotation. Ideally, probably like second man should be a little bit closer, but first man, second man, and then third man, and third man has the ability to turn and go back with a lot of momentum if he's needed, and go forward if he's needed here. Like my teammate gets a double tap right there, and then that is usually a free shot, again in the perfect rotation. Third man was needed, so now this turns into third man, and that is all coming from the kickoff. Another thing about kickoffs here, as you can see, my teammate loses it to the left side. A lot of people go for a play here, but on kickoff you actually want to play this back up to the teammate that went for the kickoff, because then usually he has a free ball and the boost. Like I play it up to him here, he now has unlimited space and he just picked up a full boost, which meaning he ends up with a free play here. So yeah guys, as you've seen, there is loads of variations of kickoffs in the game. I hope you've learned something from this video. Comment down below any other videos you want to see me do. Make sure you join my Discord, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.